Hello, Year 8. So for your double technology today, you've got Mrs. Karga. You're going to be doing a double of art. The reason is I want to still give you folks a little bit more time to actually finish off your habitat houses, and we've got a art assignment that's due in very, very soon. I need to do it quickly for school reports. So I thought today you might do a double of Year 8 for your art assignment. And then we'll do catch-up lessons for technology in our upcoming art lessons. So if you go to, you've already done this last lesson. Hopefully you did a good job on that, because if you did, it sets you up well for this task. So in this task here, you were asked to look at, I don't even need to look at that right now. Let's go. You need to look at the artist, work out who you thought was cool in installation art from that list of artists. What you're going to do today, let's have a look. So this is the assignment. I've got it open here. It's worth 60. It says 60 here. I think it might be 50. I'll double check that anyway. It is a presentation. You might also get to do some art making in this. So the bit that you're going to be addressing today is a theory task. You are to complete a Google presentation of between 8 to 10 slides. So Google presentation, like a PowerPoint, exploring the art making practice of N, so as in one installation artist, chosen from the list below. Here they are. You've already had a look at those, folks. Questions to guide you are listed below in the scaffold. So there's a whole bunch of artists. Hopefully last lesson you've already looked through those. If you haven't, maybe just ask to look over one of your classmates' shoulders as they quickly show you, or just Google these different artists. There's a really big range of artists, from people like Robert Smithson, who is really a earth art or land art person, through to other installation artists who tend to work in galleries, as opposed to people like this who work in the outdoors. And where's Andy Goldsworthy, classic outdoor environmental artist, installation artist. There's all sorts of terms that you can use. Let's not worry about the art making. We're going to get that to that later. Now, can I just give you one little tip with regards to how you spend your time responding to these questions? It says here title page. So you're going to open, back in Google Classroom, you're going to open your copy. So see here, title. Yeah, you're going to add slides as you go. How do we add slides? I've forgotten. It's been so long. New slide. Yeah, new slide, Control M. Can you do me a favor? Just put installation art and your name. I know that some of you would dearly love to spend 3 lessons just doing a title page. I will give you next to no marks for a title page. Title pages are nice, they're cool, but just don't do it, because what I actually will give you marks for is answering these questions. Have I been clear on that? Just put title page. If you answer all these questions, then yeah, go back, do a beautiful title page, make all these other pages beautiful. If I see, when I come to marking your assignment, if I see that you've got a beautiful title page, you've barely answered any of these questions, and you've got all pretty titles for all of these different pages, I will smash you in the marking very kindly. All right, I think I've been clear enough with that. So when it says slide 1, slide 2, 3, blah, 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 all these slide numbers, that's just a rough guide. Yep, when you do a title page down the track, or when you've just got title page in your name, that's 1 slide. For the next one, it might take you 2 or 3 slides to answer it. I really don't mind. I don't care if you take 5 slides to answer it, and then for the next one you take another 1 slide, 5 slides. The main thing is that you answer the questions appropriately and well. So for slide 2, 3, depending on how many slides you do it over, I want a definition of what is installation art. And yep, you can look it up off the internet. I want you to put it in your own words. Then you're going to have to look up, well, I'll help you with this one. How does installation art differ from traditional art forms such as painting or sculpture? So traditional art forms such as painting or sculpture. Think of a painting that sits on a wall or a sculpture that sits on a plinth. It doesn't really matter where it is, whether it's in a house, a gallery, or this gallery or that gallery, or wherever it gets moved around. The meaning of that painting still pretty much stays the same. Think of classical paintings. Let's just go FAMOU. Oops. Mona Lisa, too easy. Where Mona? Go on. This painting with its nice frame, doesn't matter which house it's put in, which gallery, the meaning of it still stays the same. Whereas when you get to installation artists, they will respond more to the environment. Where's our assignment? So the work will often be a specific response to that environment. So that work, the installation art is really quite different. Think about that one. Next bit, what different types of installation art are there? So do a bit of Google searching. What are the different types of installation art? I'll give you some starting points. So there's installation art, there's environmental art, there's land art, there's all sorts of other things that you need to do a bit of research just to find some interesting ones. And just give me an example of each type of installation art. I would like it if you can label it. I know it's hard when you do internet searches for images. My preference is for you to find images that you can label, as in what the name is, name of the artwork and the name of the artist. So next section, some of you are going to get through to this. I'm just going to go through and do all of this in a video so that you can come back and look at this later on if you need to as you're working through the assignment. Next little section, who is the artist you have chosen? So from that little list up here, Yayoi Kusama, Andy Goldsworthy, blah, 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 all those lovely people. You're going to choose one. You're going to concentrate on it. Who is the artist? Where are we? Who is the artist you have chosen? And please provide biographical information. Biographical information or a biography. I just want some brief information about who they are, where they lived. Daddy, look at me, look at me. Here comes my little daughter, Safi. Excuse me, Dad. So this biographical information, it's all about sort of where they lived. It says where they lived twice. Just do that once. That's a bit of a typo. What they did in art. Are they famous for installation art? All those sorts of things. Yeah, what are they famous for? So you've got to do about 10 dot points. Give me some interesting information about them. Where did they go to uni? Are they famous for being cantankerous artists? Are they, maybe, do they have a mental illness or something like that? Also, all the interesting things about them. And include some images relating to your artist. So you might have a picture of a portrait of the person, a photograph. You might also have some other examples of their art. Next little slide. Subjective frame. So remember, I think we've talked about subjective before. Subjective is all about your personal response. So when I ask you, do you like chocolate or strawberry ice cream? And you say to me, I like chocolate because you like chocolate. That's correct, because the subjective response is all about your personal response, your preferences, your likes, your dislikes. So what are your first impressions of the artwork? So on this slide, make sure you've got a picture of the artwork that you're talking about. Excuse me. So you've got a picture of the artwork that you're talking about. My impressions of this artwork are blah, 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 blah. Now do me a favor. Can you go because and give me reasons for it? Not just I like it, because that's a really kind of shallow, easy, uninteresting answer. If you give me reasons about how you feel about it or any of those sorts of things, you're going to get yourself a whole lot more marks. And likewise for the rest of these questions. So what mood do you think the artwork creates? When you look at the artwork, do you feel joyous? Do you feel happy? Do you feel scared, overwhelmed? And again, try to give me some reasons. What do you like about the artwork? Is it, inspirational? Is it an interesting use of materials? Tell me what it is that you like about it, and try not to just use those things that I've said. Just think about it, look at it. How do you feel about it? Ignore your friends for a little while and just actually think. Do you think the location of the work So where the artwork is displayed or where the artwork is made. Do you think the location of the work is important to the success of the artwork? So I'm assuming that if it's on the internet and it's a famous artist, that the work is successful. So is the fact that the artwork is cool and great and you love it, does the location play some part in that? Could it be shown in another location or would it need to be changed? So let's go. Andy Goldsworthy. It's Andy. Hi, Andy. This artwork. Could this be shown in a different location? These are all sticks that were found in this area. Could this artwork here be shown in a different location? Could it be shown in a gallery and would it still have that same feeling, that same whole experience for the audience? I'll leave you to answer that one. Back here. Next set of slides. Structural frame. So structure is all about how things are physically made. The sorts of, for example, you know, the building around you is made of bricks and metal, and the bricks have mortar in them. An artwork is made of things like traditionally paint and canvas. That artwork we just looked at, Andy Goldsworthy, it's made of sticks that are arranged in a circular pattern, leaning against the tree. So it's describing the physical materials and where it is, because chances are it's in a physical location. Try to look at the caption of the artwork. You can, so for example, when I go to here, that doesn't give me much information. It just gives me, let's go visit page. Is it going to give me the info I need? Come on. Come on, internet. Come on. So I just gave up on that previous image. I was looking for this image, couldn't find it. Couldn't find a name for it. Wiki is actually a decent place to look for images. They have names. This stone can one, here it is, Herring Island, Victoria, Australia, done in 1997. That's all the information you need. So where were we up to in this assignment? Let's get D-tab. Here it is. Subjective. That's where we're up to. What do you like about the artwork? That's your call. Give me some good reasons. Do you think the location is important? Yep. You've got to answer that one. Could it be shown in different locations? Does it change the meaning? Because remember, this is installation art. It's in large part a response to the space that it's in. Structural frame, how buildings are built, how artworks are made. It's all about the physicality of the artwork. Choose an artwork and describe what it looks like. Make some little descriptions of the artwork as well. Put a picture in the slide. Now, to some degree, to a small degree, you've got to imagine, I can't see that artwork. This is all about you learning how to describe what things look like visually. It's an important skill to have in life. It's an important skill to have in visual arts, to be able to describe something that you can see. What materials have been used? You might be able to just look at it and work that out. You might need to look at the caption. Does describe what the artwork looks like? Oh, we've already said that, just ignore that. But this is how we kind of flush that description out a bit. Describe the colors, shapes, lines, pattern, texture. Next one, cultural frame. Culture. We live in Australia. You might live in particular subcultures. You might be in skate culture. Within art, there's all sorts of different kind of cultural contexts as well. When was the artwork made? Because every era, every time has its own culture. The culture of the 1700s is very different to the culture of the 1990s, 1900s. Excuse me. When was the artwork made? What country does the artist live in? Is the artist part of a particular art movement, e.g. installation art? What does the artwork tell us about how the artist lived and what they are interested in? So an artist gets up in the morning, they go, hey, I'm going to make an artwork today. Do they want to stay inside? Do they want to work inside internal spaces? Are they really interested in technology? Like, are you looking at one of those artists who incorporate technology into their work? Are they someone who just wants to get on a pair of nice hiking boots like Andy Goldsworthy, go out into nature, work with whatever materials they can find, he photographs it, he comes home, that's it. So when I say how the artist lived and what are they interested in, you can see it through their artwork. Um, Bibliography. I want you to just have, at the end of your slide presentation or in the slides themselves, I want a bibliography, just a list of the websites that you've gone to. Slide 11, ignore that for the time being. If we get time, we're going to do some installation art down in the bush, near the bush chapel, and we'll photograph it. Good luck with this assignment.